What do you think this is?
Hmm. It's not ginger, right?
No, it does look like ginger a lot.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah,
Turnip, swede.
but it is not. And we're gonna test them today. New ingredient, or at least for some maybe. So we're gonna do today. I wanted to show you a different kind of vegetable. We're gonna do a pasta with that vegetable. It's a little bit like a hearty winter pasta. Um, these are the ingredients we're gonna use. So this is the vegetable I was telling you. They also Sam suggested ginger. It definitely looks like ginger, but it's smaller, little, not so many fingers. It has a lot of the knobs. If you peel it, it looks like this. So it is what is called Jerusalem artichoke or a sunchoke. Those are the ones. It is like a nice, good root vegetable. So I always encourage people to, if you haven't tried something, give it a try. If you see them in the market. So I'm just going to show you how you prepare them. So obviously I peeled a couple. Um, some places, so what you're going to do is, let's grab this one. So obviously there's some, I like to trim like the ends of like the little, like, you have to give them a really good rub. And depending on how fresh and how clean they are, you can eat them like that, or you can get with your peeler and simply peel them. This is it's a root vegetable. It's very crunchy actually. It is a little bit, maybe you've seen like a cousin of it, or I think not cousin, but it's like it looks a little bit water chestnuts. So you know that they use a lot in like um, stir fries and Asian cooking, but this is different. Just remember, sunchokes are Jerusalem artichokes. So you can peel them and then you have them just like that. I even seen some places, especially when they're really fresh and kind of more younger, they have a thinner skin, and people will just cut them with the skin on. So you can probably trim it like this, and then you can, which is fine, and then you can just slice it like this. You see how it comes like in really thin little slices, and that's nice and it's good. It also provides a little bit of the texture from the outside. So we make maybe we'll do a couple of the two versions of it. Some of it, obviously, if it's like a little darker from the very ends, um, don't use that. But we'll do a couple of this ones. You can even do it with your peeler like that and do slices like that. If you have a mandolin, have you ever seen a mandolin? So they help to just like do really thin slices. But so you can just use your, and you make really thin slices. You can eat these ones raw. They are really crunchy. So you don't even have to cook them. We will cook them and saute them very lightly, but so see how you can do it so easy. Anyway, so we'll use that, and I'll just chop a little bit more from this one. So that's our first ingredient. The other ingredients we're gonna go here. So I have some cauliflower. I blanched it briefly already, but just so you know, I kept a few florets raw, just tiny little piece. So I wanted for you, that's another great thing to do in dishes. Have some of the product cooked and some of the product raw. So you have a little bit of crunchiness and nuttiness from the raw cauliflower, which is perfectly fine to eat, but also you have more of the diced, the blanched vegetable a little softer. It still should be a little bit al dente. Okay, so we're gonna get our pan going, and I'll tell you um, what to add. So we also have some chickpeas. I cook this chickpeas, so you see a little bit of the liquid in which I cooked. Absolutely use that. Instead of when we do in cans that we rinse it because of the salt and the tinny flavor. No, in these ones, if you cook them from scratch in your bowl and you got this little like almost like a gelatin, that is absolutely delicious flavor. So you should keep it. So we're gonna do a little chickpeas here. That and also in you see behind here, it's a little bit of Brussels sprouts. I steam them, have them, steam them, and I'm also going to saute them. So it's going to be really hearty. A little bit of garlic too. So in our pan, um, we are going to start adding our stuff. So always measure, good idea, measure just 1 tablespoon of olive oil and That's our pan. Also on the side, I already have my pasta, which I already cooked briefly. It's just resting right in the water. It's al dente. Whole wheat pasta, this is like a penne, but it could be like just noodles like spaghetti or whatever you like. So roll around your oil, and then you can just add directly our sunchokes. If you don't have the sunchokes, don't worry, do it with the rest of the other ingredients. But I encourage you to try them out. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and get a garlic clove. I like this minced, but you can also do it in like really thin slices. But I'm just gonna mince it. If you have mushrooms, you can also add a little bit of mushrooms here, like white button mushrooms, shiitake. They all work. Think about it, it's all like kind of like root vegetables, very hearty. And a key thing I'm going to show you. So obviously you saw the pasta, I already have it and it's in the water. I'm going to take it because it's a little bit under al dente so that it stays nice. So now I'm going to add my garlic. And here you see all now these artichokes are starting to get some sizzle. Add my garlic in there. And I'm going to start tossing it. So the garlic, this is just a few minutes. And because we cut it so thin, it really doesn't need much cooking. I'm gonna add my cauliflower florets. These are the sauteed ones, and this is the raw, and this is about what, maybe a cup or cup and a half, 2 cups of the cauliflower florets and a cup and a half of the steamed Brussels sprouts. If you haven't steamed either the cauliflower or the Brussels sprouts, doesn't matter. As long as you have a lid, you can just kind of let it cook a little bit longer. You'll get all the flavors, and then it'll just soup. But this is quite quick. You can season at this point with a little bit of pepper. I like this one heavy on the pepper to give it a little kick, but it's up to you. And we're also going to add our chickpeas. As we continue sauteing, one key thing for this, and anytime I think you've seen me before when we do pasta, use a little bit of the pasta water, the water you use for the pasta. So just grab a little bit of that. Remember, you seasoned that pasta already with a little bit of salt. So that's going to give a lot more body to our sauce. So you see how it starts getting nice and so that's a key thing. And then we're going to add our pasta and get everything. So we strain it. We continue cooking just for a few minutes. So this is a really quick dish too. Let's add a little bit more of the pasta water. My pasta water. You see, I use this water. I blanched the broccoli and the cauliflower and the Brussels sprouts here. Then I do the pasta. So there's also nutrients in this pasta water that we can definitely use. And also it's gonna give a little bit of body to that. And we're close to done. So now, depending how saucy you want it, you can taste it a little bit. Then we're gonna add a little bit of parsley. This is just chopped. I have the curly parsley, so that works. And if you want that, you can just serve it as is. If you want a little bit of Parmesan, instead of putting a lot at each plate, just grab a little bit and grate it over the pasta as it continues cooking and toss it. So what it does is also going to sort of like melt in the sauce. Spread it. You don't have to use a lot. Remember, I'm always like a little skeptic on adding tons of cheese, which a lot of places and restaurants do, or prepared foods that you buy already frozen dinners and things like that. That's like a cheap. So little goes a lot of flavor. And then that's it. Then you're ready to make your nice, serve it in your, turn it off, and you can taste it. I'm going to taste one of the cauliflowers. Always taste just a little bit more salt. Toss it, and then that's it. So we use very little of it. Remember, we use very little oil. So serve it on a nice plate. Make sure to have some of the artichokes on it. The Jerusalem artichokes. They are good. They have some fiber. 10% of it is in weight is protein, actually. Of course, they have fiber, and they're mostly complex carbs for the sunchokes. And here you have it. It's
Wow,
really
looks so
good.
good. Yeah, it looks good. I want some now.
I know, it's nice, warm, and it's kind
Yeah,
of
looks
wintry
good.
colors, but it's great. A lot of the times when you get a pasta, even if it has veggies, the sauces can be very heavy and very full of oil and fat and calories and
Yeah.
cholesterol. So that's when you need to be careful. But you can do something like this, and it's still really nice. It has the flavor from the ingredients we use, but that's it. Where can you get the Jerusalem artichokes? I get them in the supermarket sometimes. It's not like you have them like carrots or something. They sometimes have it on the side next to the ginger area, the ginger pieces, or with potatoes, kind of is like a root vegetable. So that's where they find them. It's not always available. If you have a farmer's market, they tend to have them more often. But you can also ask in the store, in the supermarket, if they carry them, sunchokes or Jerusalem artichokes. So yeah, they're great. They're crunchy. You can just slice them also in salads, as I showed you, raw or cooked.